what my friend Larry was saying, Gator, we got to make sure our kids able to go to college and all that type of stuff. And I know we're gonna get into that because we talking back in the
Oh, yes,
past.
sir.
How I end up in the Oval Office meeting with Bill Clinton
The
day before a speech about the crime bill, and Jesse was telling them, don't do it, and Jesse had me come and become a part of his delegation. When I get there, I'm spooked because I want to know how did I get here? What behind door number
What's
3?
going on? What a lynch mob.
Right. I'm looking, man,
So hear what I say, for it is the truth you see. There can only be one, the original.
OG, 2 letters that define respect. Welcome to the original OGs. I created the original OGs to document the forgotten parts of American history. I want to recognize and give a voice to the men and women that have climbed to the top of their game. Believe me, the men and women that sit in front of this marquee have been authenticated as original OGs. My name is Mr. Rick. Welcome to my world, a world of the originals, the unique. Welcome to the original OGs. Welcome to the original OGs, and I'm your host, Mr. Rick. This is a show where a real OG has conversations with real OGs. I want to introduce you to Wallace Gator Bradley. How you doing, brother?
Hey, boss.
It is my pleasure.
Pleasure, man.
So here on this show, brother, we talk about our journey, we talk about our present, and we talk about what we project the world to be. I want to start in a place with you. I want to go back. I like to go back and talk about, where were your parents from?
My old man from Monroe. My mother was from Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Okay. Monroe, Mississippi?
Monroe, Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay.
Myself, I was born on 46th and Calumet. My mom, she was a madam, and my old man,
Miss Ida.
Miss Ida, right. And my father was construction worker, and back then, we were the union guys.
It was about the best job you could have. Yeah. Back then, the construction industry, because my uncle worked in it as well, it was controlled by a particular group of people.
Right.
So your father at that time was able to connect with those people.
Ain't no question.
Give them some background about those people.
Back then, and we're talking about the Carusos, so we're going to get into that.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
We'll talk about that particular group of people.
Right. And they helped my dad to help me. Later on in life, the Carusos' son and grandson got caught up with the situation with the little guy got beat up over by White Sox. So my old man called me and said, Gator, look, when you go back over in Bridgeport, they want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to get out of hand because they was with Harold Washington. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it ain't no war between the African American community and the Italian community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We need to talk about
this. We need
this.
to talk about this. So I went over there by myself. His son.
No, say that again.
Yeah.
You went how?
I went there by myself.
Okay.
I could walk through there. They gave me.
That wasn't no easy thing to do. That's why I wanted you to repeat that. Because you wasn't walking through there.
No, you wasn't. No, that's why we always going.
Exactly.
Like we was going. But you know how you sometimes you have your dad and they let you know certain things for you to survive, but they don't tell you the full scope of how it's able for you to do that because they don't want you to pay for the sins of the father.
Exactly. Your mother
Right.
and your father. Your father's from Louisiana.
Right.
Your mother was from Indiana.
Right.
Okay. When you were growing up, and that's Miss Ida Mae.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
When you were growing up, can you recall moments when the two of them would talk or maybe table talk about what it was like for them?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit because it's very important that the younger audience understand what that space was like.
Right.
You know, because it was very vital.
It was. Because the whole thing is this. It's a part of our culture that we let get away. We knew at a certain time you had to be in the house to eat. If you weren't there, you missed.
Hello.
So while we at the table after we pray over the meal, it's a moment where we're being taught common sense and discipline.
Thank you.
If the mother's setting the rules to the point, hey, you got to make sure you wash the dishes. Remember, we was hanging clothes
on the line. On the line.
She tell you, hey, the weather, I heard the weatherman said it's going to rain. Now, don't let those clothes remain on that line.
Exactly.
If they remain on that line, it was a rainstorm, and you sleep, she came and whacked you. You know what I mean? Well, you get out there in the rain.
And get the clothes off that line.
And put them down and hope the sun come up through the rain. So the father was a disciplinarian.
Yes, sir.
And showing the fact that, hey, we understood making ends meet. She had it where the ladies of the night would come to her with their money.
Mm-hmm.
Because they weren't giving all their money to the man.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
And she would bank that money.
Was coming to give his full bank to her other than the money that he wanted to pay the lady tonight so she don't get him. So the brothers that was out there doing the slanging and everything was coming to make sure, hey, Miss Ali, could you make sure your girl get the trick to at least be able to reach from us over here? So she had the full
understanding of what
it was.
She knew the whole.
You call it organized crime. You know what I mean? But
it's called organized survival.
Right.
So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because I want to know the importance of what the family gives to you when you sit at the dinner table, at least in that time period.
Right. Hey, man.
It should still be the same.
It's same. Because I got a wife that cooks like she do. My mother introduced me to my wife.
Yes, sir.
She allowed me to marry her by the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
I'll be.
I get it.
So what is cooked?
Amen.
Is the meal that you gave grace over, that you ate as you ill hustled, while the mother and the father was telling the trials and tribulations of what was happening today.
Man, say that again. As you what? Ear what?
Ear hustle.
That was the name of the game.
Yeah, ear hustle. But that means you was listening, but sometimes when they see that you ain't still moving that spoon or that fork to eat, that you ain't grown folks' business.
Exactly. Get out of grown folk business.
Right.
Hey, but they were putting it there for us to be able to gravitate toward it so that we could take something from it that would strengthen us and give us the equipment to be able to mentally maneuver through this society.
Yeah.
It was a wicked situation.
And the reason it seemed like the rabbit hole be getting deep is because I'm constantly moving.
Exactly. Never stop.
Here, the last election, 2022, it was important that Illinois remain blue. So I was very instrumental in that.
Very.
As you know, I had the governor the first time that he ran in 2013
yes, sir.
Come back for the re-election of the governor. I got him again as a client, as a political consultant and urban translator. Jesse White made a decision that he was no longer going to run for Secretary of State. So I had elected.
When did he do that?
He did that. That's why he didn't run.
Oh, wow.
So he said he was through.
Yeah.
So it made it where elected Janulius ran and got elected. I was instrumental in that, even though I'm suing him because he owed me $22,000. Like I tell everybody, still vote blue. Yeah, serious. Vote blue. But me and him gonna straighten this out because we in the court about the $20,000.
I need that.
Don't get it right.
This business, that's politics.
That's politics, right? For real. But what I love about it, all the young adults, like you say, they paying attention to what we do.
Oh, yes, sir.
They paying attention to
yes,
this. They
sir.
thinking about this.
Oh, they're paying attention because you're doing something, to be honest with you, you're doing something in a way that it has never been done before.
Correct.
It took you a long time to do this.
Correct.
To build up that force and get that momentum. But it's at the point now to whereas They call Gator. Gator don't call them.
And yeah, that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. And I'm humbly saying that. But
Yes, sir.
that is the truth.
Okay, so let's step back a little bit. You grew up in Morgan, Illinois?
From the low end to the wild hunters.
Yeah.
You know, there was 3 organizations, main organizations on the south side with the Stones, it was Disciples, and it was Gangsters.
Mm-hmm.
David Barstow with the Disciples, Brother Malik,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Ford with the Stones,
Mm-hmm.
and Larry Hoover
With the Gangsters.
47th Street, there was like the mecca of the street life on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My father ended up moving out in the hundreds.
Was that Morgan Park?
Morgan Park. Okay. And then my mother moved out in the hundreds too, which was Racine Court.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the piece with Brother Rusty West, Tubby West, you know what I mean, the Lynchmans and all that. Okay. So like I tell everybody, from the low end to the wild hunters.
Mm-hmm.
That was
your
my reach. That was my reach. You know,
exactly your stomping ground.
Latchkey child, whatever they call it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the south side, and then in the 80s was the west side. For everybody think I'm from the west side because of the hustle.
Right. I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know, so
a lot of people might want to know, and I want to make it crystal clear. So how did you come in, or how did you encounter Mr. Hoover?
Man, I've been knowing Larry, man, for about 50 years.
Exactly. So how did that come about?
Because we were gangsters in the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I was telling you how the 3 organizations move like they move. So Larry had the gangsters.
Right.
So he was going around to get everybody that want to be a gangster. Let's all get together. Like, you couldn't be no disciple if you weren't a part of Davis disciples. It can be Kazantos, it can be Eastside. You couldn't be a part of the Stones unless you was a part of Jeff and them with the 21 register, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
back in the Blackstone Ranger days.
Right. So that's how it worked.
Okay,
So when that started coming south,
okay,
that's when I met him.
Okay.
Because I was with Rusty West.
Okay.
Okay. Him and Larry was jammed. So,
Okay.
But Rusty was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when they met, Larry's guys was, you know, there with him. Larry, our thing, I'm with Rusty. Whatever he said, I'm going this way.
Right.
Well, we all hooking up with Larry.
Okay.
Okay. And then the 70s was wild.
That's
when we all got locked down and in. But when Bobby Rush went to Denver, Colorado, the main joint, to see Larry, Jeff was down there too.
Exactly.
Now, Larry and Jeff hadn't seen one another since the 70s.
Right.
When we was going through state penalty.
Exactly.
Face to face. But when the little young boy got killed over there in the alley, remember they took a basketball and let him in the alley and they killed him? Bobby Rush went and talked to Jeff and Larry to try to find out how, matter of fact, and I'm paraphrasing, that's when Jeff and Larry let Congressman Rush know whatever influence that they had, use that to let it be known that they knew more about the shooting and they was locked down than individuals on the street.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Larry and them had just put out the book. It ain't no most secret. From Gangster Disciple to Growth and Development.
Right.
Even to what is happening now. When he wrote a letter to the judge and wrote to the media to let it be known that Larry Hoover is no longer the chairman of Gangster Disciples, don't want nothing to do with no Gangster Disciples.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That ain't me no more.
Exactly. I'm somewhere else and I have
Right.
my life.
Right.
Let's step back a little bit. I want to clear something up for some of the audience that may not understand. When you start talking about gangster disciple, you're talking about, or are you talking about the merging of black gangsters or no, supreme gangsters and
Right. And
devil disciples?
and David.
Right.
That's when
You're talking Larry
and David
and
came
David.
together. That's when David said that both of them would have the title of king.
Right.
It became Black Gangster Disciples because then we was all into this cultural awareness piece.
Okay.
In the 60s.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's how that happened.
Right. Now, Larry was a supreme gangster.
He was a gangster.
Right.
You know, he was a supreme gangster. Everyone else
Right.
there was a gangster. We had to go and give it to him.
I'm gonna give you some crazy. This is how we have taken this journey before. I mean, I want people to understand that we've been taking this journey the whole while. Mm-hmm. Now you take that supreme gangster piece, go back to Ike Taylor. Now, I came up under Face, who was under Ike Taylor.
Right.
And we were West Side, and
Right.
we were supreme gangsters.
Right.
You know, but I never knew anything. I was so young. I had to be about 13 years old. I just wanted to be a part of something that was representing the concept of that day and time.
Right.
It was a whole nother concept.
Right.
Then. When Larry and David came together, that's when I kind of got lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to come back and put a spotlight on that, because I have people asking me so many questions. One of the main questions they wanted me to ask was, at one time, Larry and Jeff were together.
It's like this. Jeff and David, to us, was, for lack of a better phrase, the ideal next generation then of black mafia, black.
Exactly.
Because you know we had Nolan Mack, we had bad boys before we were little kids. We
Yes,
were kids,
sir.
You know what I mean? Now we had
Didn't just start right there.
No, it just started. It just started right there. You know what I mean? Larry idolized Jeff because the Stones was tight, regimental.
Right.
Like the Vice Lords on the West Side was economically in tune.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The Stones over here was economically in tune.
Right.
No store gonna do nothing if we ain't.
If we don't sanction it. Period.
Right. And I long for them days because we had black gas stations. We had all that type of stuff there. So, from my understanding, a lot of Stones guys didn't want him.
Didn't want Larry?
They want Larry to be one of the Prince.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? To fit within the 21 structure or whatever.
Okay,
you know
that makes sense.
I ain't no Stone. I can talk gangster.
Right. I
You
get
know what I mean? Can't talk disciple.
Right.
Talk gangster disciple, black gangster disciple.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
I get it.
Okay. So old brother Tennessee, they got together and convinced Larry to go with David. So it was Gangster Disciples and it was Stone. It was Black Gangster Disciple Nation.
Right.
And it was Black Peace Stone Nation.
Right.
You follow?
That was the dominant situation on the South Side.
Right.
Okay. So Larry and David come together. Now you got those two forces being one force.
Right.
And you still got Jeff doing his thing.
Jeff had a nation.
Yeah, Jeff was strong.
Had a
That say
nation,
nothing.
man.
Jeff was strong. Don't get it twisted
man, it wasn't no
now. I'm not
time.
trying to belittle any
Nobody.
of these brothers. We're just
Trying to-
documenting history the best that we can.
So that the young adults, man, can pay attention Because the game is way more wicked and diabolical.
Man.
When you see, I never thought I would see a day where a man that will become president would try to overthrow democracy in this country.
Wow.
When his Chinaman was boom.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It wouldn't, even when he was a part of an opposite party, where everybody, we understood the checks and balances. I'm just saying
Right.
that we now have where with technology being what it is, with the TikTok, with the Zoom, with the this and the that,
None of that.
where the lie is so seasoned that individual would rather have a poison lie than
a
accept
clean
a
truth.
nourishing truth.
Believe that. Believe that. Let me ask you another question. What was the thinking behind the 6-pointed star?
We know David.
Oh, okay. And why did he choose the 6-pointed star?
Because David in the Bible
I kind of thought so.
had a 6 point.
Yeah. King David.
Brother Malik now took the
Had
crescent.
5.
The 5 point. They had the crescent.
Yes.
So they were the Muslims. Don't get me wrong. You got we had disciples and gangsters that were Muslims too.
You still do.
Still do, right. So that's where that came about. And that's what made us put the United in Peace thing together. And Larry, Jeff, Shorty, Rico, and others, the Souls and everything else, put the thing together called United in Peace, when they went, all the gang leaders was coming together to help bring the homicide rate down in the 90s, where it was almost 1,000 a year.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when you see a young individual then every now, and you tell them, okay, the 5-point star and the 6-point star got together, how many points of that star? A lot of them would say 5 and 6 is 11. It was 10, because on the 5-point star end, the word was love. 6-point star, the word was love. And when both the loves connected, you had nothing but a 10-point star.
This show has the intent to define what a real OG is, what an original OG is. My partner and I have developed a method to ensure that if someone should sit in front of this OG logo, that they have been authenticated and found to be true in their history as far as what an OG is. Now we have the merge of King David and Mr. Hoover. Right about that time, or maybe a little bit before, I'm not going to give that date and time, that I'll leave that to you. We have the murder of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Correct.
Now, how does that affect?
Man, listen, tell you something. Good question. I think I was 14 then. I just started going to Morgan Park. That's where you do. Now we're back in the Morgan Park.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Going to Morgan Park, just like Calumet and all the schools out there, they had like a dividing line for white and black. My partner, Rusty West, he was going to the Catholic school that was across the street. Okay. From shoe school that I graduated from. He graduated from Catholic school, but we ended up at the high school.
Right.
Okay. Martin Luther King died, and all hell broke loose.
You ain't lying.
So me, another brother, he's well versed. I ain't gonna kick his name because he's well versed now. You know what I mean? But we ended up going to the Audi home.
Right.
Because we had threw a white guy over the railing. So that was mob action, but I was in my feelings because I couldn't understand how could someone white kill a man
Exactly.
for peace.
So now you're reacting out of ignorance.
Right. So I'm a young Southside being housed on the West Side in the Audi home. And that's how relationships
They spread
built.
now.
You follow what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
run to the young Benny Lee and all that type of
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
You know what I mean? So during that time in the 60s, that's when the Black awareness was happening. Black Peace Stone Nation, Black Gangster Disciple Nation, Black Panther. Everybody had free breakfasts. Everybody was concerned about the safety of the community because we knew that there was corrupt police officers that was coming in, either giving the individual the bag or taking the tax
From the bag. Yes,
so
sir.
the community was looking to us to secure their community.
Yes,
but
sir.
you know how it go when the dope game came into the play. It changed everything.
Oh, we don't talk about that too. Before the dope game came into play, it was exactly what you said it was. It was community organized.
Ain't no question.
On the west side, the Vice Lords had Holy City on 16th
right.
Street. You know, over here, Jeff had the Black Peace Stone Nation.
Coming down Stony. All
they,
that beautiful.
hey man, they doing their thing.
Yeah.
And then you got the Black Disciples over here doing their thing. All of these brothers are building things in the community,
man.
to give back to the community.
That's what they were doing, man.
And they were getting stronger and stronger. And that was one of the reasons, my opinion, is why they were all attacked.
Ain't no question. Look, man, this is my opinion. Court records panning out with Larry's trial. If he was trying to get out to be a kingpin, they would let him out yesterday. They didn't want him out because he had struck a chord all the way to fast forward when Kanye West and Drake was convinced to stop beefing because of Larry, Lil Larry, J Prince, young brother GLC, Kanye and Drake, to the point when they had the concert in California.
Yes, sir.
Same favor. Stop beefing.
Correct. The power.
The power of that. When they saw, because 21st Century Vote came into the play too.
It sure did.
And when they saw that Larry, so with United Peace, the 21st Century Vote was able to get 10,000 young adults to march downtown, then turn over a garbage can. This before the Million Man March.
Exactly.
All that we talking about. We all played a part
in it.
To the Million Man March, because we were doing the thing all over the country.
Exactly.
And Minister Farrakhan was coming to speak everywhere we was going and say, hey, we need to do this.
Wow.
All this that I'm talking.
Come on, give it to him, brother.
All this that I'm talking, you ain't got to take my word for it.
It's documented.
It's documented. You can Google Wallace, Gator, Bradley, Mr. Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, Larry Hoover, Jerry Butler, Bill Clinton, 21st Century Vote, United in Peace, the Million Man March, Ben Chavis. All this is real. It's at y'all disposal.
And our friend, Prince Asif.
Oh, man,
watch out
sure.
now.
I'm about to
watch out now.
He was the one
watch out
that,
now.
His spiritual daughter was the same young lady that my wife introduced me to. And the second time that I got married, I was in the morning stand with them. So you see the international spiritual piece that Gator was going through, the transformation.
Yes, sir.
Real, man. I'm talking about, it's as if, for lack of a better phrase, as if I was that snake, that serpent. I wasn't shedding skin. I was going from slithering to standing upright.
But see, let me, I'm going to take that and I'm going to send it back to another part of your life, man, because your life is so fascinating, brother.
By the grace of God, man. That's why I say to God be the glory. That's my story.
Hey, I hear you say it all the time. Now, we're going to go back to Commissioner Jerry Butler.
Oh, You know, one of our greatest dreams was to be a promoter, to promote Smokey Robinson at the Regal on 47th Street.
Oh,
All you
man,
needed
come
was
on.
$5 for it. You could see a show for real because the show was number $1.50. So then, you know, Jerry ended up with Iceman beverages.
Exactly.
So Earl Washington had won to become mayor.
Yes, sir.
And Eddie Doliak now had control of the Cook County Commissioner's office. So Earl needed somebody to run for commissioner.
Wow.
You know, Chuck Bourne was the commissioner.
Okay.
So Bobby Rush went and talked to Jerry. Boy, ain't it good to be talking about real people that we know?
These not people that we read about.
Right, no. Just sitting there thinking all the good times, man. So anyway, I'm trying to find a sponsor, so I'm going to Iceman Beverages, see if I can get them to sponsor, you know, the little set that I'm doing. And I overhear the conversation, ear hustle.
Right.
Overhear the conversation. We got to get a petition signed for Jared Butler.
Right up your alley.
Petition, I go get them signed. I'm in the street. And then ended up selling Iceman Beverages. You know, we had the pumps and everything.
Hey, hello.
So I'm moving. So I'm loving it too, because, you know, I was telling man, I said, you got that bathtub gin, you know, I'm thinking I'm with nothing type of people that.
I'm in the game now.
So then, all right, so he get on the ballot. He win the election.
Wow.
So I said, man, congratulations, Ice, you know. I said, thank you for letting me have one of the greatest promotions in the world to me, to be a part of this. And I'm leaving. So I'm saying, hey, you know, I'm Max Fallon, you know, he's going into government, you know, but I look glad to make history.
Exactly.
This is my thing in history. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Okay. He called me, said, Gator, where you going, man? I said, Dave, man, you know, I'm Max Fallon. He said, look, let me share something with you, man.
Care nothing about that.
Not at all. He said, I got the right to bring 4 people in with me, and you one of them. So the guy that was the sheriff, it was an undersheriff named Dvorak. They come to Jerry and say, Jerry, you know, Gator, you know, he's one of them gangsters, man, and you know, Larry and know Jerry, all them type of things. Jerry listening to him. Jerry said, well, one of the reasons that I brought Gator in, because he is actually, he ain't trying to go back to the penitentiary.
Hello?
Now check it out.
What about that part?
Okay.
Come on now.
Right. So then, the same one that was supposed to vet me, he ended up being the crook and went to the penitentiary.
Oh, okay. Now what?
Jared brought me in. He ended up being the chairman of the Cook County law enforcement. State's attorney came up under him, the sheriff, all that when it comes time for their budget.
Wow.
So one of my first assignments was to go back to the county jail to see why they're still letting them guys sleep on the floors and why they're still fighting over those those duffies. Remember those duffies?
Yeah,
right.
Little mattresses.
Right, you know what I mean? And so it went from there. Earl Washington died in 87. And you saw what happened. Sawyer was able to hold on to it. All he wanted to do was hold on to it for the rest of Earl's term.
Right.
And then he was going to give it off to whoever was going to run. Daly saw an opening. And we have people from our community, because we're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about this thing, because you got to know. 89, remember the African American community? They created a special election.
Yes,
Daly
sir.
stayed right in.
Yes,
he
sir.
ended up doing the last 2 years of Earl Washington's term. Watch this. So Daly no longer state's attorney.
Right.
So he left an opening where the next state's attorney has a right by law to be appointed.
Exactly.
Only by the commissioner. Cook County Commissioner.
Watch out. Now.
So my job became to go and check the names to see
who qualifies.
Cecil Partee.
Watch out.
The free
Watch out.
I'm giving this to you.
Right.
This how it came about.
Yes, sir.
All this is the evolution of Gator.
You got to understand what's going on
Right.
here.
So now Cecil Party become the state's attorney. Okay, Jerry Butler and them moved me into the Rat Pack and everything else. They cleaning me up.
Right.
Masonic order, the whole 10 yards.
Yes, sir.
Gator, you can't wear your mink coats down there. You doing 9 to 5.
Right.
You ain't at the back door.
We're not doing that.
We ain't doing that. You know what I mean?
Right. We suit and tie.
Right, suit and tie. Okay. So later on, my mother died from cancer. I was on the road doing something with Jesse Jackson. And with Jerry's instructions, right?
Right.
And I come back. My mother saw a program that said, Gator, if you through with your parole and everything else, you no longer awarded the state, you automatically entitled to your right. Put in for a pardon. Ma, look, I ain't been back. Now this 89.
Right.
I've been out this. That,
Hey, you 14 years out running.
Man, please. You know what I mean? So, but for you, I do it. So I put it in. Me and my wife and my son went down to Springfield. Go before the board, everything. I got letters from everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this guy, I think his name was Jack Hines or Jack Hayes or something. He was assistant state's attorney, but he was over the gang crime for state's attorney's office. He said he denied my right to get all this.
Right.
So I come out, I go to the payphone, I call the state's attorney.
Right.
So he come out laughing. You at the phone. What that mean? This how you talking to me?
Right.
And I said, hey man, your boss want to speak to you. Me and my boss. And the Cecil screamed through the phone. Tell him, get to this phone. Get to the phone. He tell him, go in there, rescind your objection. Gator is an outstanding citizen. He been redeemed.
Exactly.
And everything.
He put his work in.
He put his work in.
Right.
A pillar of the community, or at least a blanket.
How you want to put it.
Right. So when that happened, Cecil tell him he gonna fax him a letter for him to go in there and read the letter. He had to read the letter. We no longer have an objection. And the man that gave my pardon was a Republican by the name of Jim Thompson, man.
Governor.
That's just Jerry Butler. Then one thing he told me, Gator, I sing along or with them two girls, and when I sing it in my car, don't you do no background singing. Or you fighting.
Leave that alone.
That's real talk, man.
Now, for the audience,
man.
I need them to understand when you start talking about Cecil Partee, now, that was the gentleman that you were instrumental in putting in office.
Yeah. By the rules, none shady.
No. As working for Jerry as the commissioner, it was your responsibility to oversee that.
Yes.
And he was successful at being.
As he was.
And then he turned around and made the phone call for you.
Ain't no question.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right, man. That day, man. I'm saying that so your audience, especially the children and the elders, to know, because the elders got the same type of stories that we share.
Exactly.
Because the politics in the African community then was way different than what it is now.
Hey, it was a flip side.
Yeah.
No, it was a whole nother story then.
Yeah, and way different. They really cared about the community. You have Bill Henry, you have Sawyer, Beavers, Frost, Carruthers. You know what I mean?
People that were actually connected in the community and given power to the community.
Ain't no question.
And knew how to play the game. A lot of them was with Daley.
Right. Ain't no question. That's how
You see what I'm saying?
The old man Daley made sure that every
we're
community
talking about the old man.
Right. Made sure that every community
share it in the
to
wealth.
get back to the community.
Share it in the wealth.
Right.
You know. Now, that leads us to another interesting situation. I tell you, this rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So, is it about a little bit after that, I think? You end up going to Washington, D.C. with Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Right. So I'll show you how that came about.
Yes, sir.
A week before, from 92 to 94, after Bill Clinton had got in office, it's like his gatekeepers
Right.
was made it where it was kind of hard for Jesse to move.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know Jesse, man. We learned Jesse. Cold bad. Listen, that's why I learned this politics.
Yes, sir.
So now, at the end of the campaign, the Rainbow Push Coalition, Jerry had a real rainbow, man.
Oh, yeah.
So Jesse called a meeting to stop the violence.
Right.
Okay. Mary
Stamps.
Marion Stamps was one of them. The one. She was the one to say, hey, the brothers, if they want to do everything to stop the violence, they had no guts and no nuts.
Uh-oh.
Mary Mitchell
Okay.
did an article and said, Jesse, how can you go to Washington, D.C. talking about ending the violence and you're not taking individuals that's helping to end the violence?
Yeah, exactly.
I happen to be here. Me, Hal Baskin, Maury Perkins, Mr. Rico, even though he was in the joint, he had Brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So they asked that question. Next thing I know, I'm in Washington, D.C. for when Jesse had a meeting there and called all the Rainbow Push individuals that had became a part of Clinton's cabinet, man.
Wow. Whole nother level.
So I gave, a speech in there to let everybody know what we're doing and everything else. That was right before Jesse Jr. made a decision that he wanted to run for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I'm talking about everybody. I'm gonna get you that tape, man. Everybody. So Mel Reynolds was with Chuck Panici now.
Okay.
From out Rhode Island, that type of thing. And Dan Rouse and Kowski. Both of them ended up in the penitentiary.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Jesse Jr. ended up becoming congressman. No, that's another story. But back to the matter at hand. When it ran its course, a week later, I'm on my way getting ready to go see Larry Hoover. I'm talking to him on the phone. Say, hey, man, I'm ready to jump on a plane now because Prince Osciel, all of us was trying to help him get out the penitentiary. Because the people in the community said, hey, they can bring the homicide works down, make them civically minded where they get registered to vote. Okay, we had just helped Carl Mosey Brown become the first African-American woman United States Senator. You see what I'm saying? Okay. In the meantime, when I'm ready to talk to him again, I said, man, I just got a call from Jesse. Jesse wants me to be a part of the delegation to go meet with Bill Clinton the day before he gave a State of the Union address to convince him not to push the bogus crime bill, 1994.
Wow.
So in the bill, because Jesse them giving me the pointers, everything else,
feeding you the information.
I'm reading it. And it says if an individual had got caught with a bag of reefer,
wow.
Later on in life, if he wanted to go to school, he never got, none of that. He wasn't allowed to get a Pell Grant.
Wow.
So when I went in and spoke before, Clinton and everything else, I made mention of that because
that's crazy.
Affected me because, we went into the penitentiary as functioning illiterates.
Exactly.
We taught ourselves how to learn.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's when Larry was like, man, Gabe, no, you don't have to come see me.
Exactly.
Go there.
Go do your thing.
Now, I didn't realize the importance of me going there until they come with this case with Larry. Wow. And they bring that big picture with me in the Oval Office with Jesse Jackson and Bill Clinton. And the prosecutor said, man, we knew we had to stop them because they had got into the Oval Office.
You see, they going too far.
Right.
Yeah.
Did
y'all hear me?
To save a life, to change the paradigm, to convince African Americans, stop killing one another, because you don't know. Hey, man, every time I see Barack Obama,
wow,
I think that he used to be out there with us trying to help stop the violence. But picture if it was today and the way they shooting up funerals and all this type of stuff, he could have got killed.
Man, it never made
no black man.
Never made it. Man, I don't know if it was a little bit after that, but you end up running for office.
Right. I was in 95.
Yes, sir.
How that happen? I get the pardon in 90.
Oh, it's on and cracking now.
So yeah, so I said, okay, well I'm gonna check and see if my pardon is as good as Oliver North's pardon. Real story, man. Real story, man. Hey, well, you know,
Hey, you ran for senator?
Right. Wait a minute, man. And cause when I went and spoke in DC, I made mention of that.
Right.
I say now, word on the street, if you're gonna get a package, you want to make sure you got Oliver North's name on it.
Right.
I'm kidding. Wait a minute.
Hey, we want the same one he had.
Right. So did. Because, you know, we knew that was the Iran-Contra deal. What we talking about is the events that Maxine Waters
Wow.
had to put pressure on.
Wow.
The DEA and the CIA, to let it be known, they was the one that brought the scourge of crack cocaine to our community to help pay for an illegal war.
Right.
So that's why we talk. It ain't just this, by the grace of God, we from the streets to the suites, man.
Hey, man. I'm trying to tell you.
You see what I'm saying? So
I'm trying to tell you, brother.
That's how that's
Exactly.
Way,
you know, where we sitting at right now?
right. Regal.
We in the Regal.
Well, it's been a new Regal.
But this is a
Historical building, man.
piece here.
That's why they ain't tore it down. Somebody gonna come with the right finance. God gonna send the right individual, because we saying we now have control of our narrative, purposely focused on the saving the life and the generation.
Hey, man, you know, I don't get it. It may take 5 million, it might take 10 million, but the kind of money that certain individuals are controlling,
Amen.
why wouldn't you invest in this?
Hey, man, let me share something with you, man. I'm glad you brought that up, because, you know, we talk about it.
Gotta
man,
be
we
about
be
it.
here all day, man, but, you know, we mad men and daddies and all that type of stuff.
Granddaddies. You understand me?
Hey, the practical time we got, we want to smoke a cigar.
Hey,
but anyway,
for real.
man, the thing is this, man. They have realized that God has blessed them to make money as opposed to money making them.
Yes, sir.
They understand the power of buying land.
Yes, sir.
And you hearing it right here.
Yes, sir.
There's so many African Americans that have money that they can come and lay down a jewel in any town.
Any town, brother.
And this gonna be one of them here.
This got to be. This is the most beautiful place you could ever walk into. All it needs is a touch up.
Yeah, amen, daddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, they even got the stars right.
Man.
We just having fun.
But it's all good,
Right,
though.
right.
It's all good. Because they up there.
They up there, right?
I'm just trying to, you know. That is really a serious statement in a laughing way.
Right.
You know,
right,
because see, the people that built this structure left their fingerprints.
Yes, they did.
All throughout this
Yes,
structure.
they did. Yes, they did.
So if you understand signs and symbols, you look at the
It was
6-pointed
Jewish
star.
and Hugh bred it.
Thank you very much. Look at the artwork of it.
Look at it, man.
They left their fingerprints
Yeah, all over it, man. Come on, man.
Hey, we got it later. But that's okay. It's ours now.
Right.
And we need to come together some kind of way and save the structures like this that are in the Black community.
Man, look, man. Fast forward. We got a lot of people that want to run for mayor. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, everybody say they want to change. They elected her. The people elected her out of all 50 wards. On her journey to change, Because now she's finding out where everything is at because the African American community and the brown community wasn't getting their just yet because we didn't know what was in the room.
Thank you.
Here come the pandemic.
Wow.
So once she found what was happening, before she can give it to her business to expand, the business had to close down because of the pandemic.
Wow.
But as they was opening stuff up, she spent over $300 million.
Wow.
Southwest Project.
Wow.
That's South Side and West Side.
Yes, sir.
Don't be shocked for this not to become that. P. Diddy, I'm just getting everybody to
Mm-hmm.
the state wouldn't write with the cannabis law for us as a people. By God's grace, they're about to legalize it federally. So the white guys that had locks on it, cultivation and everything else, had to sell some of that off in order to get it.
Wow.
He's right there, had the right bank, 185 million. He got
Wow.
cultivation thing that he built coming back to town.
Wow.
This what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
Wow. This is information that's well needed.
So I tested it in 91.
Yes, sir.
Make sure I could. Out of 9 people that ran, I came in 3rd.
Wow.
So I went down to last say, man, Gator,
Do it again.
had we talked, we would have caught them because we could have won it going straight down the State Street corridor. that was when we had laid the peace thing down.
Right.
That's when we had, man, if anybody across the state, if you pick up that gun, you in violation.
Wow.
We had this, all those people that down the State Street Court, every time I ride down State Street Court, I say that's one of the reasons they got rid of the building.
Of
Because
course.
it was a locked vote base. So I come back and I run in 95 against Dork again, end up in the runoff. This time we were sharper, but I didn't understand the power of additive. So they was stealing the votes out of the, yeah.
The old daily trick.
Daly wasn't with us. She was against me.
Yeah.
Daly because
Hello?
Wait a minute, man. So I run to the Boys and Girls Club because the kids calling me. They're stealing our votes. Now you got these young adults into the process.
Wow.
He is one of ours.
Wow.
So I get there. Channel 5, I never forget it. And I got that for them too, because I had to go to New York to do an interview about me and Dorothy.
Right.
So Channel 5, well, Gator, you know, they say you the gang enforcer, you doing all this, and you know, I know I'm good, I got my part, I'm working in government, I'm
Right.
straight, everything, okay. Well, then I guess I'm gonna be enforcer for gangster disciples that's gonna
For the rest of
change
your
the
life.
law. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's gonna change the paradigm within our community to show them that they got to do right. They edited the prefix and the suffix out that statement and only push, I'm a gangster disciple, scared them old people, man. Dorothy worked it. Y'all can't, I ain't mad at her, man. That's how she was. She worked it. I told y'all. She got in the media.
She wore it out.
But I learned everything I had to say. That's why you say over the decades, I'm saying the same thing.
And Dorothy, sister, we love you.
Right.
We love you.
Oh, we cool.
Yeah, we love you.
Right. We cool.
Man, but we just want to share in these
But
experiences.
learn so
man.
much.
Hey, you know, and learn how the game is being played. And once you can do that, then you can find your space.
Right.
Once
Correct.
you find your space, now you can do things to make the world a better place.
Correct.
So, well, I'm gonna close on this. I'm gonna ask you the question, and you can give it to the audience. How would you define an OG?
An original gangster that had to become an original gentleman,
Thank you.
because gangster is harsh and offensive.
Yes, sir.
It's all right when they say white gangsters.
Can't
You
never
see,
be.
they got Al Capone bus or something riding up and down
All of them
Chicago.
down
That
every
shows
day.
those were white gangsters, Irish gangsters. Joe was the Irish gangster
Yes, sir.
that made the decision with the Italian gangsters
Yes, sir.
that his son Kennedy should
Yes, sir.
become the president. And he became the president because Daley now found some votes in Chicago.
Hey,
It's history
no,
that we talk about.
this is real.
Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Nevada, they got a museum that talk about the gangster, but when it comes to blacks,
Better not do it.
get you a dictionary, like we had to learn the true meaning of a thesaurus while we was incarcerated,
Hello.
so that you can define, because you can hear blue till you're blue in the face and not know that it's 2, maybe 3 different blues.
Hello. Maybe 100.
Right. But hey, man, it's always a pleasure. I wouldn't want to miss this
Man,
opportunity, because, man, being on that road, I'm saying, well, we in dire straits. Right?
yes, sir. I get it. You know, it has been my pleasure, brother, having you here. As I always say, that's it. That's all. We have created this show so that men and women alike can come forward and tell their truth. If you have people that you believe to be an OG, go into the comment section, write us, let us know where to find the history so that we can authenticate it, bring them on the show, tell their story so that we can add to the American history. That's it. That's all.
OG.